Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about something that many of us have experienced, something that may have confused or hurt us. Why a man who loves you might ignore you. Now, when you hear the word ignore, it immediately raises questions. If someone loves you, how could they possibly ignore you? It's a contradiction, right? But let's pause, breathe, and take a deeper look at the dynamics that play into this. Let me begin with a simple truth. Love is not just a feeling, it's a responsibility. Love is about commitment, vision, and purpose. You see, love does not exist just to make us feel good in the moment. Love exists to serve, to build, and to cultivate something greater than ourselves. Love is often perceived as a feeling, something that sweeps over us unexpectedly and fills our hearts with warmth. However, this surface-level understanding of love does not capture its true essence. Love is not merely about fleeting emotions or temporary affection. It is about responsibility and commitment. In any relationship, whether it's between partners, friends, or even family, love operates on a deeper, more profound level. It calls us to act beyond the initial thrill and emotional rush, urging us to make deliberate, thoughtful decisions that contribute to the well-being of those we care about. When we speak of love as a responsibility, we are acknowledging that love requires us to consistently invest in the other person's growth, happiness, and development. Love does not come with the expectation of receiving affection at every turn. Rather, it is about creating a foundation of trust, respect, and mutual care. A man who truly loves you will not only think about his own feelings and desires, but will consider how his actions impact you and the future you both are building. This responsibility in love often requires sacrifice. It may mean making difficult choices that are not always immediately rewarding, but are ultimately for the good of the relationship. Sometimes the one you love will need to prioritize his responsibilities and long-term goals over temporary comforts. He will need to make sure that he is in a position to take care of both himself and you. In those moments, love is not about offering attention at every moment, but about understanding that true commitment means being ready to do what is necessary for the growth and stability of the relationship. This might sometimes be misinterpreted as neglect or disinterest, but in reality, it is love in action. Love as responsibility also means that there is a duty to understand, appreciate, and support the vision of the one you love. The love you share is not just about the connection you have in the present, but about the future you hope to create together. A man who loves you will often be thinking about how he can secure a better life for you both, how he can build a foundation that will support your shared dreams. It's easy to mistake this period of focus and drive as a lack of affection, but it is actually a manifestation of love. The love he has for you propels him to take the necessary steps to ensure that both of you can thrive not just in the now, but for years to come. For instance, a man might have a project or vision that requires his full attention. In those moments, it may appear that he is ignoring you or placing less importance on the relationship. However, what is actually happening is that he is trying to build something stable, something that will contribute to your mutual growth. He is not abandoning you, but instead he is preparing for a future where he can offer you more than just momentary affection. He is working to create a life where his love for you is evident in his actions, not just his words. This level of responsibility means that love is not a one-way street. It requires both partners to be fully engaged, not just in moments, but in times when distance necessary for growth. It is about understanding the balance between individual growth and relational connection. While it may seem difficult at times, this balance is what allows love to mature into something deeper and more meaningful. When you love someone, it is not enough to simply give them attention when it is convenient or easy. You must be committed to their growth, to building a shared vision, and to weathering the seasons of life together, whether they are filled with joy or challenge. True love requires patience, trust, and a long-term perspective. When a man seems distant or preoccupied, it is not necessarily because he no longer loves you, but because his love is pushing him to fulfill a greater purpose. Acknowledging this can be difficult in the moment, but understanding that love is also about responsibility can help you navigate these periods of apparent neglect. It becomes clear that his seeming indifference is not a rejection of you, but an act of love in its highest form. He is fulfilling his responsibility to create something lasting, not just for himself, but for the two of you. Love as responsibility means stepping beyond the moment, looking toward the future, and working to build a life that is filled with more than just short-term satisfaction. It is about making sure that the love you share is strong enough to endure whatever challenges life may bring. This is the kind of love that transforms not just individuals, but entire relationships, because it is rooted in purpose, growth, and a shared vision. So when you find yourself questioning why someone who loves you might seem distant or preoccupied, remember, love is not just about immediate attention. It is about ensuring a future that is filled with stability, security, and growth, a future where love is not just felt, but demonstrated through every choice, every sacrifice, and every act of responsibility. A man who loves you is often focused on fulfilling his vision and purpose. And it's important to recognize that love, in its truest form, is not just about affection or attention in the moment. Love, when fully understood, transcends the surface level gestures and taps into something deeper, the pursuit of a shared purpose. A man who truly loves you is not solely driven by the desire to please you with every moment of affection, but by a deeper calling to build a future that aligns with his values and dreams. His love for you is not confined to the present, but extends into the future, creating a foundation on which you both can stand, thrive, and grow. When we talk about a man's vision and purpose, we are referring to the deep internal drive that shapes his decisions and actions. This purpose is often a reflection of his core beliefs, his ambitions, and his sense of responsibility to something greater than himself. It is his mission to create, achieve, and lead not just for his own benefit, but with the intention of building something that will benefit you as well. His vision may be something personal to him, something that he believes will make a difference in the world, or perhaps even a vision that is rooted in the kind of life he wants to create with you by his side. The pursuit of this vision can sometimes be all-consuming, requiring intense focus and dedication. For many men, this drive is an integral part of who they are. It shapes their identity and guides them as they navigate through life. It's not that they are ignoring you out of indifference, but rather that they are engaging in something that requires their full attention and energy. They are striving to position themselves in such a way that when they return to you, they can offer you not just their love, but a stable and secure foundation upon which to build your relationship. A man who loves you deeply is often driven by the desire to ensure that his love for you is not fleeting or based on temporary moments. He wants to offer you something more lasting. This is where his focus on vision and purpose comes into play. If a man is to be a strong partner in a relationship, he needs to develop the capacity to provide, protect, and lead not just emotionally, but in every aspect of life. His love for you compels him to create the kind of life where both of you can thrive, not just survive. And this often means making sacrifices in the present to ensure that the future is brighter, stronger, and more stable. In the pursuit of his purpose, a man may sometimes appear distant or less emotionally available. He may be consumed by work projects or personal goals that are critical to his development. This does not mean that he does not care about you or that he is choosing his goals over you. On the contrary, his desire to fulfill his purpose is often an expression of his love for you. He is preparing for the kind of future that will support and enhance your relationship, even if it requires periods of temporary distance. It's important to understand that when a man loves you, he doesn't simply seek to be loved in return. He wants to create a life with you, a life built on shared dreams, mutual respect, and a strong partnership. He understands that to build a successful partnership, he must first secure the resources, stability, and emotional readiness to be the kind of man you need. His love for you is expressed in his actions, in the work he puts in to create a future that is full of opportunity and fulfillment for both of you. During the periods when a man seems focused solely on his goals or distant from you, it's helpful to step back and ask yourself, is he ignoring me or is he securing our future? Often, the answer lies in the fact that his love is pushing him to accomplish something greater. He is not absent because he no longer cares. He is present in his efforts to create a life that allows him to give you more than just his attention. He is working to give you something more enduring the security and stability that come from his hard work, discipline, and vision. His focus on his purpose also reflects a certain maturity and understanding of what it means to be a partner in a relationship. He knows that love is not just about the present moment, but about what you both can build together over time. A man who loves you will not simply seek to fulfill his own needs, but will consider the bigger picture, the family, the future, the legacy. He wants to provide a foundation where both of you can contribute, grow, and experience life to its fullest. And to do this, he must sometimes prioritize his purpose, knowing that his work now will lay the groundwork for a deeper, richer connection with you in the future. This focus on vision and purpose is a key part of a man's love for you. It is not about neglecting you, but about ensuring that his love is not just about small gestures, but is instead woven into a greater vision for your shared future. A man who loves you will work tirelessly toward creating the life you both deserve, and in the process, he may need to withdraw for a time in order to build that foundation. The love that drives him to focus on his purpose is a love that will, in the end, benefit you both. His commitment to his vision is a reflection of his commitment to you, because it's through that focus that he hopes to offer you more stability, more opportunities, and more fulfillment. Understanding this is key to navigating the moments when he seems distant or preoccupied. His love for you is rooted in a vision for a future that will be richer, more stable, and full of promise. And this vision is worth the temporary sacrifice of attention. True love requires patience and understanding of each other's missions. It is often said that love is a two-way street. And while this is true, the depth of that love is realized when both partners understand that they are on individual missions that, when aligned, create a powerful force for growth, support, and fulfillment. It's easy to assume that love is about simply being together in the moment, enjoying each other's company, and basking in affection. But love, in its truest sense, demands something deeper. It demands that we understand the individual purpose and mission of the one we love, as well as the vision we share together. When a man is pursuing his purpose, it often requires undivided attention, time, and energy. This doesn't mean that his love for you is diminishing, but rather that he is focused on something that will ultimately benefit both of you in the long run. It's during these times that patience becomes a key factor in the relationship. Patience is not simply waiting for someone to return or come back to you. It is the understanding that their purpose requires them to move forward in ways that may seem distant or disconnected. A relationship built on love, trust, and understanding acknowledges that both partners have individual roles to play in the world. For a man, his purpose often extends beyond the relationship. It encompasses the work he is doing, the vision he is building, and the person he is becoming. This is not a reflection of selfishness, but a recognition that for the relationship to flourish, both partners must be fulfilled in their individual journeys. A man who loves you will not only want to invest in the relationship, but he will also want to become the best version of himself for you. This involves his focus on his mission, on developing himself, and on preparing a life that will one day be a stable and secure environment for the love he shares with you. But here's where the importance of understanding comes into play. Patience alone is not enough. It must be coupled with a deeper understanding of each other's missions. When you love someone, you must be willing to support their mission, even when it temporarily separates you or requires sacrifices. In fact, love in its fullest form often involves standing beside each other as each person follows their unique path. This kind of love is rooted in mutual respect for each other's purpose. It recognizes that both of you are working towards something bigger than just your relationship. The relationship itself becomes stronger because both individuals are growing, maturing, and pursuing their own purpose with the understanding that the union they share will be more powerful when they bring their individual missions together. Now, understanding each other's mission is not always easy. It requires open communication and a willingness to step back from one's own expectations. It involves actively listening and asking questions like, what drives you? What is your purpose? How can I support you in this journey? These are questions that create an environment of mutual respect and trust. When a man loves you and is focused on his mission, It's important to recognize that the time and energy he invests in that mission are a direct reflection of his love for you. He is preparing to create a life that will support both of your dreams, and for that he needs space and time to fulfill his purpose. But what about the times when it feels like he is distant or unreachable? In those moments, it's easy to feel rejected or neglected. However, it's important to shift the perspective. Love requires understanding that these moments of distance are not about abandonment, but about progress. He is moving towards something that will not only fulfill him, but will eventually benefit the relationship. Understanding that his love for you is the foundation of his pursuit can make it easier to navigate the times when he seems absent. This is why love also requires patience with yourself. While your partner is busy building his purpose, it's an opportunity for you to reflect on your own mission. In a healthy relationship, both partners grow individually as well as together. Your love will be much stronger when both of you are actively pursuing your own goals, passions, and visions. This creates a sense of fulfillment and personal growth that enriches the relationship. When both of you are walking in your respective purposes, the relationship becomes a partnership of two fulfilled individuals working together to build something lasting and meaningful. Patience in love is not just about waiting for the person to return or become available. It is about knowing that the time apart is a vital part of the process. It is about trusting that the love you share will grow stronger because both of you are doing the necessary work to build your individual lives. It's about trusting that the future you are both working toward will be even better because each of you has invested in your own growth, your own mission, and your own purpose. Ultimately, love is about knowing that patience and understanding are the foundations of a strong relationship. These elements allow both partners to move forward, confident that they are supporting each other's growth and that the love they share is anchored in a vision that goes beyond the present moment. True love is built on understanding, and understanding requires patience. In the end, both partners must recognize that they are on individual missions that, when aligned, create a shared journey of growth, love, and fulfillment. When patience and understanding are present, love becomes not just a feeling, but a powerful force that drives both individuals toward a shared future. When a man seems distant or preoccupied, it can be easy to interpret his actions as signs of disinterest or neglect. However, this is often a misconception. Sometimes the truth is that he is not ignoring you at all. Instead, he is in the process of preparing something bigger and better for both of you, something that will, in the long run, strengthen your relationship. The apparent distance might be part of a necessary process that will eventually bring you both closer, not only emotionally, but in every other aspect of your lives as well. Love, as we have discussed, is not always about constant presence or attention. Sometimes it requires space and focus in order to grow. A man who loves you might seem distant when he is focused on his goals, working hard to secure a future that will provide stability, security, and opportunity for both of you. This may require him to step away for a period, not because he no longer cares, but because he understands that in order to build something lasting, he must first lay a strong foundation. And that foundation doesn't come from immediate gratification or temporary comforts. It comes from hard work, sacrifice, and long-term vision. When a man withdraws to focus on his purpose, it is not an act of ignoring you. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It is an act of preparing for a future where both of you can thrive. He may be working on developing his career, pursuing education, or creating something that will enhance the quality of life you share together. In those moments of apparent distance, it's important to understand that he is investing in the future of your relationship. The sacrifices he makes now, the long hours he spends building, the energy he dedicates to his work are all acts of love. This is not to say that neglecting each other's emotional needs is acceptable. Relationships require attention, care, and communication. But sometimes, love means recognizing that there are seasons in life where one partner needs to step back and focus on something greater. The key is to maintain open communication and mutual understanding. The distance should not be a cause for misunderstanding or frustration, but rather an opportunity to reflect on how both partners can support each other in their individual missions while keeping the relationship strong. A man who loves you deeply may not always have the time to give you every ounce of his attention, but his love remains constant. The way he shows love may change depending on the phase of life he is in, but the underlying truth is that his commitment to the relationship remains intact. His love for you is evident in his actions that may sometimes require sacrifice or the temporary loss of closeness. His dedication to you is not measured by constant presence, but by his focus on creating a life that will allow you both to flourish in the future. When a man steps back to focus on his mission, it's important for you to ask yourself, is he ignoring me or is he preparing something greater for us? This shift in perspective can bring clarity. His distance might be a necessary part of the process that will allow him to become the man he needs to be in order to fully support and love you. Sometimes, what may seem like absence is actually the manifestation of his love for you, a love that is building the future you both want to share. In these moments of distance, it is crucial to maintain your own sense of purpose. A relationship is not a static entity, it is dynamic and requires the growth of both individuals. While your partner is focusing on his purpose, you too can focus on your own personal growth. This not only strengthens your own sense of fulfillment, but also strengthens the relationship. When both partners are working on their respective goals, they bring more to the table when they come back together. This shared growth leads to a more robust and enriched connection. Moreover, his temporary absence can teach you something important about patience and trust. True love is not about clinging to each other every moment, but about having the faith and understanding that the relationship will remain strong even during times of physical or emotional distance. His love is evident in his actions, not just in the time he spends with you, but in the way he works to create the future you both deserve. The key to navigating these moments of distance lies in your understanding of his intentions. If you can recognize that he is not withdrawing out of indifference, but out of a desire to secure a better future for both of you, you will find that your love not only survive, but will grow stronger. When you trust that his actions are motivated by love, it becomes easier to embrace the space he needs to fulfill his purpose. In the end, the man who loves you deeply may not always be physically present, but his commitment to you and the future you are building together remains unshaken. The temporary periods of distance are not signs of neglect, but opportunities for both partners to grow, to reflect, and to prepare for a love that will be built on solid ground. When the time comes for him to return, he will be not only more capable of giving you his attention, but more equipped to offer you a stable and fulfilling life. In this way, love becomes something more than a momentary feeling. It becomes a lasting force that drives both of you toward a shared future. Love is not about immediate gratification, but about long-term growth and stability. In our fast-paced world, we often get caught up in the desire for instant results and immediate rewards. We want to feel loved, seen, and appreciated in every moment. And that desire for constant affection can sometimes cloud our understanding of what true love really entails. Love, in its most profound and fulfilling form, is not rooted in temporary pleasures or short-term emotional highs. It is built on the foundation of mutual growth, stability, and the commitment to a future together. When we talk about long-term growth, we are referring to a love that matures over time, one that deepens as both individuals evolve and develop. It's easy to mistake the absence of constant affection for a lack of love, but in reality, love is about building a future that is strong enough to weather the storms of life. In the same way that a tree grows strong and deep over many years, love grows more solid and rooted as time passes. It requires nurturing, care, and a willingness to invest in each other's long-term well-being, even when the immediate rewards are not evident. A relationship that is based on immediate gratification might feel exciting and fulfilling in the moment, but it lacks the depth that can carry it through difficult times. This kind of love is often fleeting, driven more by the desire for personal satisfaction than by a shared vision for the future. On the other hand, love that is focused on long-term growth and stability requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to work together through both the good and the challenging times. It is about investing in the relationship not just for the present moment, but for the many years to come. For a man who loves you, The journey is not just about satisfying short-term desires, but about creating a foundation for a lasting and stable life together. His love for you is not measured by how often he is physically present or how frequently he shows affection. Instead, it is measured by his dedication to building something solid for both of you, a life that will provide stability, support, and opportunities for growth. The work he puts in today, whether it is building his career, pursuing his education, or working on personal development, is an investment in the future you will share. This commitment to long-term growth means that sometimes a man's focus may shift away from the relationship in the short term, but his love remains unwavering. He understands that in order to build a future where both of you can thrive, sacrifices must be made. This is not about neglecting the relationship. It is about preparing a strong foundation that will sustain the love you share for years to come. His attention may not always be on you in the present, but his commitment to the relationship is shown through his actions that are intended to ensure that your love endures and grows stronger over time. Love that is focused on long-term stability is not afraid of challenges. In fact, it embraces them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge faced together strengthens the bond between partners as it requires them to work together, communicate, and support each other. True love does not shy away from difficulty, but embraces it as part of the journey. This kind of love recognizes that life is not always easy and that growth often requires overcoming obstacles. But it also understands that overcoming these challenges creates a deeper, more resilient connection between partners. When a man is focused on building a stable future, he is not just thinking about his own needs, but about how he can best support the one he loves. His love for you motivates him to secure a future where you can both thrive, where you are not just surviving, but thriving together. This is why the work he does today, whether it's in his career or in his personal life, is about building something that will serve both of you in the long run. It's about creating a space where both of you can flourish, not just emotionally, but in every aspect of your lives. This kind of love requires vision, planning, and patience, qualities that are not often seen in relationships that focus solely on immediate satisfaction. True love requires a deep commitment to the future, and this is what makes it so powerful. It is not about the fleeting moments of affection, but about building something that lasts. When you are in a relationship where both partners are focused on long-term growth, the love shared becomes a driving force for both of you to be the best versions of yourselves. It pushes both partners to work toward their individual goals while simultaneously working toward a shared vision for the future. This kind of love is built on mutual respect, support, and the understanding that both partners have unique purposes that contribute to the greater whole. In moments when you feel that the immediate affection you desire is not present, it's important to remind yourself that true love is not about always being in the same place at the same time. Love that is built on long-term growth and stability requires understanding that there will be seasons of work, of focus, and sometimes even of distance. But these seasons are part of the journey toward building a lasting, meaningful relationship. When both partners are committed to growth and stability, the love that results is not just a passing feeling, but a powerful, enduring force that will carry both of you through life's ups and downs. Love that is based on long-term growth creates a relationship that is not just about surviving together, but about thriving together, creating a life that is full of purpose, fulfillment, and deep connection. In conclusion, love is not merely about the moments of attention we receive, but the deeper commitment to growth, understanding, and mutual support. It is about building a foundation that can weather the storms of life and provide stability for both partners. A man who loves you deeply may not always be physically present, but his love remains rooted in his dedication to creating a future where both of you can thrive. His focus on his purpose, vision, and mission is not a sign of neglect, but a testament to his desire to build something lasting, meaningful secure for the future you will share. True love requires patience, understanding, and the willingness to support each other's individual journeys while staying united in a shared vision. As you navigate moments of distance, remember that they are often the necessary steps towards something greater. Keep trusting in the foundation you are building together, knowing that the sacrifices made today will strengthen your love for tomorrow. I wish you all the best as you continue to nurture your relationships, understanding that true love is not about the immediate, but about the lasting impact you create together. Thank you for listening. And may your journey of love and growth be filled with purpose, fulfillment, and unshakable connection.